They say failure is the key to success, but this is how you turn failure into success on the spot. Hello, welcome to my channel. Today I'm making meaty and crispy vegan bacon out of water. To be exact, starchy water. So if you've been watching my videos, you should know that I made vegan chicken teriyaki out of plain wheat flour. I made seitan, which is the body of the vegan chicken, with something called the wash flour method, where you get the gluten, which is the protein in wheat flour, by washing the starch away from the flour. Now, why am I talking about the vegan chicken? Because when I made it, I discarded the starchy water, which is its byproduct. So a number of you commented on the video that I could make all sorts of things with the water, and I was blown that you can make bacon out of it. This is 2021. So I did some research, and this recipe is based off a recipe by Seitan Society and inspired by multiple other YouTubers. But unlike every other recipe using this method, my bacon is gonna be not just crispy, but thick and meaty, just like the real stuff. And I'm gonna put it on some vegan cheese and mushroom pizza and see if it's any good. Let's go. So I'm starting with the ingredients for seitan, which is so simple. I have about 4 cups of strong flour or bread flour, adequate water, and all you need is those plus condiments and spices to flavor it. I have vegetable bouillon powder or vegan chicken stock powder, garlic and onion powders, mushroom seasoning, smoke powder or liquid smoke. This is essential. Soy sauce, tomato paste or puree, smoked paprika, some extra virgin olive oil, some optional sriracha, maple syrup, or some vegan Worcestershire sauce, and finally some optional red wine. So that is everything. Let's get started. So basically, I'm going to do the same thing as I did to make the seitan dough for the chicken teriyaki, but without discarding the water. Mix the bread flour with water in a large bowl and form a solid dough ball. Once you have that, fill the bowl with water. You don't have to clean it. And dump the dough ball into it. Let it sit in the water for an hour or 30 minutes at least. Then start kneading the dough ball under the water. There are many ways to make vegan bacon, but I like this because when you make seitan, you can just use the water so none of the water or starch is wasted. If you don't want to go through all this, you certainly don't have to. You can just get some starch powder and mix it with water. Keep kneading it until almost all of the starch has come out to the water. Here we have the seitan dough, which is mostly wheat gluten, and you can use this to make vegan chicken or any other meat substitute. So I'm gonna put it aside. Now this water, as you can see, is full of starch and my dead skin cells. It looks just like milk. If you call this a new wave plant milk, this is probably the worst tasting plant milk ever. I'm gonna leave the water in the bowl for several hours until all the starch sinks to the bottom. I let it sit overnight. As you can see, there's some slightly cloudy water sitting on top. Grab a bowl and a large spoon and remove as much of the water as you can without scooping the precious starch. Now, I have this very starchy liquid that's got almost like a light batter texture. This is the essential ingredient for our vegan bacon today. Now, this is important, I would say. Get 2 fairly large bowls. Transfer about 2/3 of the batter to one and the rest of it to the other. Oh, before you do that, don't forget to whisk it well or they're not gonna have the same consistency. I'm gonna be seasoning the 2 bowls of starchy water individually and differently. I'm gonna add that meaty red color to the 2/3 and leave the other white for the presentation. This way, our bacon will have red and white stripes just like the meat and fat in the real stuff. So it's super crucial to pack as many flavors as you can in the 2/3. I have about 2.2 cups in this bowl, and of course a bit less in this. So to each batter, I'm adding 1 tablespoon of vegetable bouillon powder or vegan chicken stock powder, 1 tablespoon of mushroom seasoning. These are gonna add some earthy umami to it, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, and this is essential, 1 teaspoon of smoke powder. You can use liquid smoke. You need this to make bacon. Now, depending on how salty your bouillon or broth powder is, you have to adjust the amount of salt you put in. But bacon is supposed to be salty, so I'll go ahead and add about 1 teaspoon to the white batter. And finally, 1 tablespoon of oil to each batter. I'm using extra virgin olive oil. Now to the colored batter, 1 tablespoon of condensed tomato paste or puree for the red red color and rich umami. You can also use Marmite, that will make it super rich. 1 tablespoon of red wine. Again, this is optional. It's just for the deep color and some rich flavor. I'm adding 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. It is salty, that's why I didn't add any salt to it. 2 tablespoons or a lot of smoked paprika. You'd also add some of the smoky flavor, of course. And if you like it a bit spicy, add some sriracha to it. Now, instead of maple syrup, I'm adding some Worcestershire sauce. Vegan, of course. And I decided to add a touch more of the red wine. I wish I had some beetroot powder for the vibrant reddish color, but I don't, so that's it. Then you want to mix the batters thoroughly, individually of course. Now the batters are ready. Now you need 2 cups or some containers with pour spouts, so you can easily pour the batters into the pan the way you want it. You'll see what I mean. I don't have many of those, so I'm using this for the white batter and my pour over kettle for the colored batter. Now get a pan. Please do use a non-stick pan if you have one. I'm using this electric griddle because it's got a larger surface, but I'm gonna do it both ways. Some extra virgin olive oil. Brush it around to make sure all of the surface is coated in the oil. Same if you're using a pan. I'm going to heat up the pan over medium-low heat. It shouldn't be too hot because you don't want to burn the batter and have it stick to the pan. Now when the pan is heated, whisk the batters again. The white one first. Then pour the batters into the pan slowly and gently. Have fun and draw bacon stripes throughout the surface of the pan. I like to make red stripes first and then fill the holes with the fat. Basically, as the batter cooks, it will become a crepe. Once you have that, unstick it from the pan very gently with a spatula. Try not to break it and flip. Awesome. If you're making tiny bacon pieces, which is what we're doing today, then you don't have to worry about breaking it apart. Crack lots of black pepper. And you want to pan fry until it's caramelized on the outside, golden brown, and super crispy. Just like this. Look at this. It's looking unbelievable. There we have the most amazing and realistic vegan bacon ever. It's super tasty and crispy. This is done. Let's hear what my brother had to say.
Holy f***.
Now my pan-fried version came out differently, so I'm gonna be approaching this differently. So my batter was way thicker than other recipes. Unlike theirs, mine isn't a crepe, but a meat-flavored pancake. And this is where I changed my plan. Instead of trying to make that well-cooked, thin, crisp bacon stripes, let's do thicker, meaty, and sort of chewy bacon. They say failure is the key to success, but this is how you turn failure into success on the spot. When you make this for the first time, especially in a pan, chances are it will break apart. But again, it is okay in this case, and it actually gives it a more realistic look. So this is what I've got. It looks pretty close to bacon, but this is not it. We're gonna cook it further. I'm going to cut the meat pancakes into small pieces with scissors. So now here's what we've got. See this? This is why we're not looking for perfection. This is perfect. I've cleaned the pan, get it back on heat, drizzle some good amount of extra virgin olive oil. This is going to curl and crisp up our bacon. This time the pan should be ripping hot. When it's heated, place our bacon in the pan. Again, season with lots of black pepper. Honestly, you need it. And cook until it's golden brown and crispy. Look at this. It's starting to look a lot like bacon. This is done. Remove from the heat. Here we have our crispy vegan bacon pieces. It is important to let it rest before you serve it. It's gonna get even crispier as it cools. Now I'm gonna make some cute little pizza with the bacon. I'm lazy today, so I have some tiny store-bought pizza crust. I'm going to put my favorite San Marzano style tomatoes infused with basil. A generous amount of vegan cheese, also store-bought of course. I'm gonna be making some real good vegan pizza, I promise, so please await it. I'm gonna slice some cremini mushrooms and place them on top. And I'm gonna pop it in the oven. Once it's beautifully baked, get it out. Now this is the moment. I'm going to sprinkle our crispy vegan bacon pieces all over the pizza. And bake the whole thing for a few more minutes. Then top that with some arugula and a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil. There we have our vegan pizza, cremini mushrooms, and tasty, crispy, and meaty vegan bacon made from starchy water. Here I have a slice of it. Oh wow. It's really good. So, does it taste like bacon? Honestly, no. It's of course lacking that pig flavor, but it's got the texture, the smoky flavor, and it's salty just like bacon. It's crispy, but it's still got the chew to it. And it's super flavorful, it's full of umami. This is simply a good pizza topping. Alright guys, that was it. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.